Welcome to another week of Turnpike Sports. I am Dave Weishuttle, and as always, I am joined by producer and co-host Doug Weishuttle. Doug, what's up?
Well, it's holiday season time.
It is, and boy, what a awful holiday treat that a lot of sports bettors got last weekend if they put money on the LA Rams.
No, that was a killer game for a lot of people.
Oh, boy, that was a killer for parlays. That was a killer for teasers. And what was the report coming out of the Action Network? Apparently, one person at the Mirage Las Vegas Sportsbook, I guess they put $155,000 on the money line for the LA Rams and then put another $55,000. At that time, it was 12.5 point spread on the Rams again, and $235,000 this one bettor lost.
That's a guy with a lot of liquid cash.
Ooh, boy, not a pleasant holiday greeting.
No, but, thinking about maybe heading down to New York City for the holidays and celebrating Christmas there with a pair of legalized nunchucks. So that was...
That's weird, yeah.
I don't even understand. Why would they do it around the holidays to actually pass that law?
Is that a big holiday gift this year?
You're going to see people with candy cane-shaped coated nunchucks. But that was an interesting little thing there, especially what's going on with everything. The Holland Tunnel, they had the tree. They want to move a tree now with some weird stuff going out in New York that's non-sports betting related. But, there's a lot of weird stuff both coasts.
Yep, it's been a busy week, so let's take a trip down the Turnpike. And today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $15 off your first order of $30 or more when using our promo code DRINK15 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Exit 1.
Okay, we had a busy week with the sports betting industry again.
Yeah, more states are coming. Well, I wouldn't call Washington, D.C. a state, but
no, but they
territory.
They are the first jurisdiction that has legal sports betting now with no casinos.
Interesting.
I shouldn't say legal sports betting now because it's still got to go through another process of the mayor signing it. Then I guess they got another council vote or something before it becomes legal. But it's an interesting bill they got coming out of D.C. where it's granting a monopoly. It's one of the few jurisdictions that only one operator can do it, the D.C. Lottery.
D.C. Lottery. I think the D.C. Lottery was the big winner this week.
Yeah, and the only other places where you can actually, that's not a monopoly, are in some of the sports venues. They're going to have the 24-hour sports books, that sort of thing. You can use any vendor that the venue makes a partnership with. But outside of that, it's the D.C. Lottery. It's going to be interesting to see how that affects the industry in that jurisdiction. I mean, I would assume people are going to look at the other jurisdictions where they can choose their
I would assume that's going to be mostly mobile sports betting.
That's all that's there is online.
That's all mobile.
Yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of mobile, we have both of the online major sports books, FanDuel and DraftKings, making news, too. The NBA just expanded their agreement with FanDuel. They did it for fantasy sports, but now they're going to be doing sports betting with them. FanDuel is now one of the official gambling partners of the NBA. Basically, it's the same deal that everyone's doing. It's access to sports betting data that the NBA provides. They're going to get FanDuel get promoted at the NBA venues, and the FanDuel will also be able to use the league marks and logos and all that stuff. So. It's a surprising move, but the terms are basically almost becoming identical with a lot of these things.
This is almost like a boilerplate partnership agreement,
Yeah.
We get data, we get the logos and things like that. So, I think we're probably going to see a lot more of them.
Oh, yeah. And then we have DraftKings announcing that they've made a deal with Penn National for an online and mobile sports betting site whenever that gets approved by the gambling regulators in West Virginia.
Yep, this is in West Virginia, right?
Yep. Same guys that will operate the Hollywood Casino in Charlestown. So there's already a physical sports book there. I think it's William Hill. And now there's a mobile deal with DraftKings for an online DraftKings sports book in West Virginia when that gets approved. And now, speaking of one of the more unusual moves, I don't think anyone really saw this coming, or maybe some people did. The Canadian company, The Score, which by the way, you love.
I love The Score. It is such a great app. I mean, you follow games on it. You get notifications on which games you want to follow, and it's just a phenomenal app. I mean, it's great for Sunday to keep track of all the scores and and it's great for fantasy too because it keeps stats on all the players.
The amount of data they have at their fingertips
is
incredible. And this is under the Monmouth Park Racetrack license.
By the way, this is in New Jersey.
This is in New Jersey only for an online sports book.
And they still have to get, I guess they need approval from the NJ regulators. And I guess mid-2019?
Mid-2019, they're looking at a launch if they get approval. This is in conjunction. The Score partnered up with a group called Betworks, which is a sports betting platform company. It's a startup. It's a brand-new company out of Las Vegas. So
they also teamed up with the brick and mortar in Monmouth Park Racetrack, which is in Freehold, which is almost dead center in the middle of the state, which is great.
They're only going to be an online site right now.
Right now, it's just online.
All right, moving on to let's stay in New Jersey for a little bit. The New Jersey sports betting handle was reported. The total handle so far, New Jersey is getting close to $1 billion.
And this is from when it started when did it start, really? I'm trying to, is it August was the first full month?
August was the first full month. In November, they had a handle of just under $331 million.
Wow.
That's up almost 27% from October's total. So it's still growing and growing and growing. So, it's going to be interesting to see how quickly they overtake Vegas, because I think they are.
I think there's a projection out there that 2022, there you could see higher revenues in New Jersey than in Nevada. So it should be interesting.
I think it might even beat that time frame. So
maybe it's growing, especially with the mobile stuff coming in New Jersey.
Yep, and
more and more.
And last but not least, we can't have a sports betting update exit without mentioning William Hill.
Absolutely.
The William Hill Sports Lounge opened at the Prudential Center. Now, that's in a partnership with Harris Blitzer, who owns not only Prudential Center, but also the Sixers and the Devils. And the Devils play in the Prudential Center. They had a ribbon cutting last week, at the end of the week, Friday. 1,200 square foot lounge, 32 digital TVs, and it's right outside Section 18 on the main concourse. I'm not too familiar with the Prudential Center, but it's supposed to be in a prime location for foot traffic in the center.
And now someone asked me, and I just want to make sure that I got this right. There's no sports betting there. There's no windows that you can go up to.
There's no tellers, no.
There's no tellers,
but
right?
there is pretty much any mobile app you want to use.
Basically, anywhere in New Jersey is a sports book if you have a mobile phone.
But William Hill will be in the lounge putting up their odds and lines and everything. So you're going to have the William Hill data.
Oh, great.
If you want to choose other lines, you're going to have to go to your mobile apps that you have that's not William Hill. But that's what's going on with sports betting in the United States. I mean, we got a couple more states introducing legislation.
I want to mention the 2 new sports books in Pennsylvania.
I forgot about those.
No, how can you forget about that?
I actually have them in my notes here, and I totally forgot about them.
Congratulations. Now it brings it up to 3 sports books in Pennsylvania.
Rivers Casino in Pittsburgh and Sugar House in downtown Philly. First one in downtown Philly.
Yeah, I know. Sugar House is in such a great location. It's right on the water, right in the middle of Philadelphia. It's absolutely beautiful.
And from what I was reading in everybody's reviews of the openings, Rivers had a bigger crowd than Sugar House for their opening days. They had their 2-day trial before they were permanently opened, and they both successfully passed the 2-day trials. Sugar House had 6 Sugar House regulars placing bets. There was no main star that came out,
which
to
is
do the
nice.
betting. That's what you want. You want to see the normal people going there. They have a temporary one that's about half the size of the actual physical sports book that they're building for this. It's right by the Poker Night in America poker room. They've got 6 betting windows. They're going to add 6 more. The kiosks will be set up soon for self-service betting. And this was I saw someone made mention of this. I don't know why they brought it up, but the minimum bet at Sugar House is a $5 bet.
Okay.
Instead of any other number you want to do. So that's a little unique. Rivers, on the other hand, their first bet was made by an entrepreneur.
I think I saw a story on this. Was this the $11,000 bet?
$10,000 bet.
$10,000
on the
bet?
New England Patriots to beat the Steelers.
Yep.
And he
guess
lost
what?
it. He didn't care. He didn't care. He's a professional. Not he doesn't want to say he's a professional gambler. He's an entrepreneur. Got a deep pocket. He's won poker tournaments. He's won other gambling tournaments. He's won about $1.3 million in these types of gambling tournaments. So the $10,000 bet was nothing to him.
And he's a Steelers fan, from what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at that time, I guess he placed the bet. The Patriots were a 2.5-point favorite over the Steelers, and the Steelers actually won the game. So,
Yep. So you know what?
Welcome to sports betting.
Honestly, I think everybody thought the Patriots were just going to walk right through the Steelers.
Yeah,
but
the Patriots are a different team this year.
Exit 2.
We've got another exit with DraftKings in it now. Mm-hmm. DraftKings made a deal with a brand new MMA organization, the Professional Fighters League.
Okay.
It's for both fantasy sports on the fighting, as well as sports betting on the fighting.
Wow, interesting.
First things first, they're going to be doing the fantasy sports. For everyone who's not familiar with Professional Fighters League, I had to look it up. I didn't know anything about this league. It just started. They started off with 72 fighters, 6 weight classes. They held 10 events across the country this year. The fighters are advanced to the next rounds in the championships based on wins and points, which actually lends itself perfectly to fantasy sports betting.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I really don't know too much how this is scored, so I'm very curious to see how fantasy fits into this and how I certainly sports betting fits into it, but I'm curious about the fantasy aspect of it.
Well, DraftKings is going to be offering a fantasy contest starting December 21st.
Nice.
Entrants pick 4 outcomes for each of the 6 title fights on the championship card. Mm-hmm. Contestants will attempt to predict the winner of the fight, method of victory, what round the fight will end, and what time the within the round the fight will end.
Wow.
Sounds almost like prop sports betting, more so than fantasy, but I guess this is all a brand new league, a brand new way of doing things, which is actually sounds really interesting. It kind of fits in with the industry right now.
I think it should be fun to follow along and do the football ends in February, so and that's the king of sports betting and fantasy. And
football ends in February, but not according to the Alliance of American Football League.
I should say the NFL ends, but not the Alliance.
Yeah, now you
can you
say
bet
that.
on the Alliance of American Football League? I guess you can.
They said they're setting it up so that we'll be able to do that. So.
Exit 3.
Going over to eSports now.
Every week it's eSports, and every week they keep getting bigger and bigger.
Well, this is we're moving out west to Colorado, where the largest eSports arena in Colorado is now opened. And it's opened by a Philadelphia group.
Really?
Yeah.
They went out to Colorado? I was hoping eSports would get more play in the East Coast.
They are.
Good. I hope so.
I'll talk about this here. It's made by Philadelphia Esports Network. It says N3rd Street. It looks like nerd. It's the way N3RD.
Oh yeah,
is.
I'm seeing
it's
that,
Nerd
yeah.
Street Gamers is basically what they are. They built this place in Lakewood, Colorado. It's an 18,000 square foot arena. It's going to be strictly for esports, but it's also they say it's also going to be a general purpose gaming center with food, drinks, and lounges.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's going to be able to have over 1,000 spectators. 120 computing stations for the gamers, an event stage, full-service bar, lounge, and they're hoping to have one of their national championship series events at this new center. They've got Nerd Street Gamers basically has an entire series called the National Championship Series, one of which is being held in Atlantic City.
Really? Where?
Ocean Resort.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great property.
Again, December 21st. Seems to be a big day for some of these sporting events, but it's a $30,000 final event.
They jamming it in before Christmas, I guess.
I guess so. But they actually hope to have an event out in the Colorado series, in Colorado arena for this series. As a matter of fact, one of the Denver Broncos is an equity owner in Nerd Street now, Emmanuel Sanders.
Okay.
So, they're getting far and wide with this esports. It's a growing industry.
I got to check one of these out.
$1 billion industry.
I got to check these out, man. I've been hearing about it, and it's really growing. So obviously, it's a lot of fun. It's popular with people, and I haven't checked it out yet. But I definitely want to check this out.
No, it's one of those things. It's it's also something every kid can learn how to do if
Sure.
they wanted to. And the way these things are becoming more and more like leagues, you're getting salaries, you're getting benefits, you're getting gear, you're getting all that stuff. And, it's becoming a sport. And it's nice to see this evolution, too. I mean, we got sports betting on one side, and now we have eSports evolving into this really big industry, too. So, good luck with this.
I said it before. This is like one of those things that casinos should jump on because they want to bring millennials in. Guess what? Esports is the way to do it.
Oh, no. This is
it.
perfect industry.
Exit 4.
And last but not least, Sports Business Journal has released their annual list of the most influential people in the sports business. And just like last week, we had the Sports Illustrated Sportsperson of the Year not being an actual person.
Mm-hmm.
We actually don't have an actual person being the most influential person of 2018 for sports. I'm going to get this phrased right here. At the top of the list, the American Sports Gambler.
Wow, boy.
A generic term just won Influential Person of the Year.
Wow.
How about that?
Congratulations, everyone, I guess.
I guess so. I guess that's everybody. So anybody who places a bet, you are now one of the most influential people in the sports business for 2018. But the American Sports Gambler beat out, listen to this list, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, he was number 2.
Okay.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell was number 3. Mm-hmm. And some of the other big names, LeBron James, number 15.
Now, he was the most influential athlete, which is interesting. Number 15 is the first athlete on the list, which is, I guess, all of it was business. And
it's all business, and then right after
front office.
Here you go, Jerry Jones,
okay.
Dallas Cowboys owner, nutcase, number 13. New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft was number 14. Both of them beat out LeBron.
Okay, all right. Like I said, it's interesting that the first athlete appeared at number 15, and it's all front office.
Yep.
It's all business. It's interesting.
What's even more surprising to me...
Congratulations to the American Gambler.
Well, here, 2 more guys, because I thought this was the most interesting. These were the first 2 sports betting people, sports betting industry people that made it on the list.
The front office sports betting people.
Jim Murren,
sure.
CEO of MGM, who is basically just
making deals with every professional league out there, I think.
He was number 23, and at number 47, again, we can't go a show without mentioning these guys, too, was Joe Asher, CEO of the U.S. division of William Hill.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. William Hill is making the most impact, I think, on sports betting in this country.
They're everywhere. So congratulations to everyone who made the list, and congratulations to the generic American Sports Gambler there for topping everybody this year.
Yeah, I just want to remind everyone that today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $15 off your first order of $30 or more when using our promo code DRINK15 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. And speaking of sports gamblers, we had a hell of a week in picks, but you got some business to take care of, but then we can brag about how good we did.
Well, you can brag. I sucked.
I did.
I had a horrible week again, but
I hit a parlay.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll talk about it later, but Doug can do the announcements.
Let's get the housekeeping out of the way. Contact us. You can call or text us at 609-512-6510. Facebook and Twitter, we're at Turnpike Sports. Email the show at info@turnpikesportsradio.com. And also, don't forget to order your new 2019 International Bikini Team calendar. You go to info@internationalbikini-team.org to get your ordering information. Brand new calendar for the new year.
I heard ours are in the mail
right
now. All right. Can't wait.
And don't forget, you can catch the show. It's distributed through iTunes. It's on iHeartMedia and Waze, combination of those guys, Stitcher Radio, YouTube, and now you can actually watch the show on Binge Networks. It's distributed through Roku devices, Amazon TV, Apple TV, tons of other platforms.
Something about Facebook too,
and Facebook Watch too.
Yeah.
So its distribution is now going through the roof here with us. Binge Networks. Happy to be on board with them, and
love Binge.
Looking forward to seeing what we can do with them in the future. But we have our own channel on Binge.
Yeah, well, like I said, I jumped the gun when I wanted to talk about how great of a week we had in sports betting. Well,
you were only eager
I was
to
dying
jump the
to
gun
tell about
because
the
of that.
parlay, but stick around. We're going to have our picks for this coming week right after this. Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from Turnpike Sports with this week's Bet Flash. The NBA and FanDuel have announced that they are expanding their partnership to include sports betting. Under the expanded agreement, FanDuel will be an authorized gaming partner with the NBA, giving it access to the league's logos and trademarks, as well as data provided by the league. The media company The Score has announced it will be launching a sports betting app in New Jersey. The Score signed an agreement with tech startup BetWorks to create a platform for mobile sports betting. The app could be launched by mid-2019, but still has to be approved by the New Jersey Division of Gaming Enforcement. And finally, if you put your money on the LA Rams beating the huge underdog Philadelphia Eagles, you lost some cash last weekend. But one bettor at the Mirage Sportsbook in Las Vegas took it to a new level. That bettor put $180,000 on the Rams to win and then put another $55,000 for the Rams to cover a 12.5-point spread. That was a $235,000 loss. That had to hurt. From the seaside to the desert, from the betting lines to the sites online, Turnpike Sports has got you covered. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Turnpike Sports. You've been hearing me talk about MyPillow and the benefits of using it to get a good night's sleep, alleviate your sore neck and back, and the special deal you can get from MyPillow through the show. Well, not only can you pick up the special deal for 4 MyPillows when you use promo code CARDS, but now you can get $100 off your purchase of the MyPillow mattress. Yeah, that's right, the MyPillow mattress. The MyPillow mattress comes with a 10-year warranty and a 120-day money-back guarantee. The MyPillow mattress is made up of 3 unique layers, providing you the comfort and support to fall asleep and stay asleep all night. It even has the luxurious Dream Soft cover, which is stain-resistant and stays cool all night. Just head on over to MyPillow.com, click on the MyPillow mattress link, and enter promo code CARDS at checkout to get $100 off your order. Or call 1-800-319-7913 to order by phone. That's MyPillow.com or call 1-800-319-7913 and use promo code CARDS. Better sleep starts with MyPillow.
Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff that will spice up your bedroom is even better. Just go to adamandeve.com and select almost any one item for 50% off, and then we'll load on the free stuff. Just enter this very exclusive code, BABE16 at checkout, and you'll get 10 tantalizing free gifts, including a sexy item for him, a special toy for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy. And for your viewing pleasure, 6 free spicy movies on DVD, plus free shipping! Always sent in discreet packaging. So go to adamandeve.com now. Get 50% off plus 10 free gifts when you enter the exclusive offer code BABE16. Again, that's BABE16. Because without it, no free stuff. That's BABE16 at adamandeve.com.
We'll get right back to the show, but I want to take a minute to talk to you about Bean Genius. How would you like your coffee delivered right to your door every month, maybe 2 times a month? Well, now that can happen with Bean Genius. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country at beangenius.com. And Bean Genius actually learns their customers' individual taste preferences, then suggests future coffee blends for them. Well, how do they do that? Well, this is the cool thing about Bean Genius. Over at beangenius.com, they use an algorithm which learns the coffee flavors you like and then pairs up what you like with the coffee that they have in stock. And it's all based upon you. Every time you order, the system learns. The system learns your preferences as you go along and order more and more coffee. And now, all our listeners at Turnpike Sports can get a special offer. You head on over to beangenius.com/subscription, and you'll be able to get 10% off your purchase when you use our promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E, at checkout. That's 10% off at beangenius.com/subscription with promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E. beangenius.com, the smart specialty coffee subscription service.
I'll bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day.
No way.
I'll give you 3-to-1 odds.
Nope.
5-to-1.
Nope.
10-to-1.
You're on.
Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. Dave Weishuttle along with Doug Weishuttle here. Now it's time for our pick segment, which you
jumped the gun on before
I jumped the
break.
gun because I was so excited about how well I did. So, and by the way, I was smart enough to stay away from that L.A. Rams Philadelphia Eagles game, which destroyed a lot of bettors.
Would you have bet on the Eagles? Because I know you're an Eagles fan.
I would have stayed away from it because I just don't know. Wentz wasn't playing.
Okay, if that was the only
Foles,
bet you had to
if I was
place.
the only, well, when I saw it, it was 13.5, and I thought that was kind of high. I would have picked the Eagles to kind of cover. I didn't think they'd win. There would no way I would bet Eagles on a money line.
What about the over under? What was that? Was it over?
I don't think it was over. It was.
It wasn't a high scoring game, right?
No, not really. But it wasn't. I don't think it hit the over.
Had that interesting fumble by Goff.
Yeah,
or
what a
was it a
mess.
fumble or interception?
It was a interception because his hand was going forward. I think that's what they called it.
I think they were saying he did a Sanchez. The way he tripped over everything, over his
it's
lineman.
It's not as
and
elegant as the butt fumble that
no.
Sanchez has, but it was pretty bad.
No.
But not only did it's so interesting, and it illustrates how much a bettor has to shop around when you're looking at the odds. In one sports book, I went 3-0 on my picks last week, and another sports book, I won 2, and I pushed on the one game I had.
Which one was that?
I put the Ravens. I went with the Ravens, who are an 8-point favorite,
and they won by 8.
They won by 8, but in one sports
Hence
book,
the push.
they had an 8. In the other sports book, I took them at 7.5, and I actually won that one. So
yeah, it shows it pays to shop around. Literally, I guess.
I mean, you have to. I mean, that's what you have to do. And I got lucky, and it was the Ravens Buccaneers game. So,
okay.
So yeah, no, and I got lucky, and I got a money line parlay. I went on the money line. I went with the Bears. I went with the Bills. I went with the Bengals, and I went with the Falcons. The Bills won. They won by 1 point, so that's how I pulled it out. So.
After going 3-0 last week, I ended up going 1-2 this past weekend. So, still a good record, 4-2 over the last 2 weeks, but I still would have preferred going 3-0 both weeks. But
I guess for show purposes, I guess I took the Ravens when it was 8, so I'll say I had a push and then 2 wins.
Okay.
I'll say it that way. I didn't go with 3-0, so
we
I'll
can
say
go with that
for show purposes. I just want to remind everyone that this week's Pro Pick segment is sponsored by the Michigan Online Lottery. Choose from over 50 different online lottery games today, including their holiday game, Merry Multiplier, with a top prize of $50,000, all online at the Michigan Lottery. And now get 10 free games of Queen of Diamonds when you sign up using our promo code Radio10 at MichiganLottery.com. That's promo code Radio10 at MichiganLottery.com. Must be at least 18 years or older, a Michigan resident, not a Michigan resident, a Michigan resident.
Well, that's the next state over.
Yeah, right. Must be at least 18 years or older, a Michigan resident, and in Michigan to play online.
Alrighty, and we are into the Pro Pick segment of the show. As always, we're going to be choosing 3 games each, making our picks on those 3 games. Sometimes we have the same game, sometimes not, but we're going to be doing 3 games each. And these picks will be put up on the Turnpike Sports blog. Head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com and click on the blog button, and you'll see them posted about an hour or so after this show is released every Thursday now. So around noontime on Thursdays, you'll see these picks up on the blog. All right, we're going to start off with we have a same game this week. We're going to start off with the Jacksonville Jaguars at Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are a 4.5-point favorite, and there's an over-under of 39.
I got to tell you, Jacksonville has been horrendous this year. They lost 9 of their last 10 games, and they haven't even covered on those 9 losses. And I got to tell you, Miami's not that great either, but one of the more impressive things about Miami is that they protect the ball, and they only have 2 turnovers in the last 4 games. And, Jaguars' offense is just anemic with Cody Kessler. I think they only scored 1 touchdown in the last 31 possessions. So, you know what? I'm taking the Miami Dolphins and laying the points. I am not betting on the Jags.
Well, I'm going with the Dolphins as well in this game.
Okay.
Jacksonville's offense is putrid. I mean,
Terrible.
they've scored 18 or less points in 8 of their last 10 games, and they're just averaging just a little over 9 points in their last 3. So that offense has gotten really bad really fast from what they had last year. I mean, last year was...
Well, is that a different team?
Last year was tolerable,
Boy.
but the offense is just putrid now. And
I mean, everyone before the season started, they were talking about Jacksonville Jaguars even going to the Super Bowl.
well, they
possibly,
were
but
one of those Rex
unbelievable.
Ryan style smash mouth ground and pound teams, that kind of thing. But their defense isn't what it was last year.
No.
And that's what the problem is. They were winning with defense last year, and now they're not. And with this offense, it's terrible. Miami just got beat down by Minnesota last week, but they were actually in it until the second half. They fell apart in the second half, and Miami is a completely different team at home. They've won 6 games there, and even though they haven't really blown out anybody, I think 4.5 is, that's low. I think Dolphins can, win by more than 5 against the Jaguars this year.
Yeah, I
so
think
I'm going with the Dolphins.
My next game is the Kansas City Chiefs at the Seattle Seahawks. Kansas City is a 2.5-point favorite with an over-under of 53.5 points. I think the Chiefs are way too powerful for this Seattle defense. I mean, Seattle lost to the 49ers last week, and the 49ers aren't as good as the Chiefs. And I know Baltimore's breathing down the Kansas City's neck, so I think the Chiefs are really going to put up some big points against the Seahawks. And this is one of those games where I was kind of surprised that Kansas City is only a 2.5-point favorite, but I'm really thinking, and I'm going to look at this closely, this line may move when you get closer to game time, because it just 2.5 points, it just doesn't seem like a lot. So I'm expecting this to go up. I'm going to be betting on this, but I might have to put some money early when it's still 2.5 before it moves a little bit.
Yeah, I would do that quickly.
I jump on it right away.
Yeah. My next game, speaking of surprising teams, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys are a 7-point favorite, over under 46.5. And like I said, surprising team, the Cowboys. I don't think anyone expected the way they started this year to be 8-6. They had that winning streak. Twice they beat the Eagles, the Falcons, the Redskins, and the Saints. And then for some reason, they didn't show up against the Colts.
That was bizarre. That was just strange. They just
their first shutout in years.
Around.
What was it? 2012 was their last shutout.
I think it goes further than that. Boy, it's really bad. I mean, but Amari Cooper has really made a difference on that team.
Oh yeah, and I think it saved Garrett's
was
job.
he worth the first round draft pick that you had to give it?
2 first.
Oh, well then certainly not. But
I think so for that team. Yeah, I think so. They needed to do something because they were stumbling. And right now they're 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games versus the NFC, and 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 overall. I really don't see Tampa doing much in the second half of this game. They may keep it close for a while, or even may try and make a comeback. But I'm just thinking Dallas is going to be looking to avenge that loss against the Colts against somebody, and I think Tampa is going to get hit. And so I'm going with the Cowboys.
Pretty good reasoning there. I think I might have to agree with you. I wonder if the 7 points is too much, though.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think that may be low.
Really?
Considering some of the other spreads this weekend.
Yeah, no, some of those are bizarre. Man, that Patriots spread against, I stayed away from that game. The Patriots against the Bills, what was it, 13.5?
Yeah,
I stayed
like that.
away from that one.
Well, let me tell you this. I think the spread is low, but I don't think I think the under would be a good bet on this game.
Yeah, probably. Well, my next game is kind of a stinker, and it's really a bad Monday night matchup, but hey, the Denver Broncos at the Oakland Raiders.
Ooh.
Yeah, Denver is a 2.5-point favorite with an over-under of 44. Look, Oakland is one of the worst teams in the league, but I kind of like the matchup in this one. Oakland's 4-2 against the spread in the last 6 weeks, and, Denver's offense is just terrible. I mean, I think they're averaging in the last couple of games 16.9 points, and that's just awful. I mean, Denver was a favorite against the 49ers and the Browns, and Denver lost both games.
Yep.
I mean, Oakland may not win this, but I think they're going to keep it close, so I'm taking the Oakland Raiders for the first time this year.
Oakland seems to be playing a little bit better.
Yeah, I think they're playing better than Denver Broncos.
Oh, yeah. Denver may be in the market for a new coach after this season, too, so that'll be interesting to see if...
So I'm going with the home dog.
There you go. My last game of the week, the Chicago Bears at the San Francisco 49ers.
I was looking at this one.
Bears are a 4-point favorite. There's an over-under of 42.5. Now, last week, it was Seattle against San Francisco. It was a low line just like this one. I went with Seattle thinking they'd beat the crap out of the Niners, and San Francisco screwed me. They actually showed up and played, and Seattle didn't. But the Niners really have nothing to lose for, so they're going to be playing spoilers here. And Chicago is still angling for that first-round bye for the playoffs, and they got a shot at it as long as they keep winning. I think the Niners could pose a little bit of a problem, but I really expect the Bears with the bye on the line here this week. I think they're going to be playing a really strong game all around, so I'm going with the Bears.
That's a good pick. That's the one I would have went with just because of the Bears' defense.
Yeah, and they have everything to lose if they lose.
Okay. So just to recap, I went with the Dolphins, the Chiefs, and the Oakland Raiders.
And I did Dolphins, Cowboys, and Bears. And remember, all our picks will be put up on the Turnpike Sports blog after the show is released tomorrow on Thursday. And, just check it out. You can put your comments to it, email us your comments or your picks, whatever you want to do. And, have fun with it. It's like we're having fun here, too. I just wish I was winning more.
I just want to remind everyone that this week's Pro Pick segment is sponsored by the Michigan Online Lottery. Choose from over 50 different online lottery games today, including their holiday game, Merry Multiplier, with a top prize of $50,000. All online at the Michigan Lottery. And now get 10 free games of Queen of Diamonds when you sign up using our promo code Radio10 at MichiganLottery.com. That's promo code Radio10 at MichiganLottery.com. Must be at least 18 years or older, a Michigan resident, and in Michigan to play online.
Alrighty, that'll do it for this week. Everybody enjoy the games. Enjoy basketball, hockey, football. What else is being played? I think there's a ton of stuff.
Let me tell you
played.
something. Christmas is now kind of being associated with the NBA. If you're a huge
sports
fan, five.
Is it a quintuple header?
I don't know. Do I do a parlay with that? Who knows?
I don't know, but a quintuple header, 5 games on Tuesday, the 25th, Christmas. So
have a great holiday, everyone.
Yep. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week on the Turnpike.